Right. Good morning, everyone. Really a pleasure to be here. I hope the experiences I'm going to share this morning will be able to stimulate more discussion and eventually, of course, implementation of AI to really improve efficiencies in many of our settings, especially in low and middle income countries. All right. Okay. It's okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So today what I would like to really share with you all is some of the experiences that we've had and I have been the privilege of having in different service delivery settings. The first one is implementation of CyberSight AI, and I will talk to that in a short while, in the diagnosis and referral for vision impairment, especially for those, of course, with non-communicable diseases. And in this case, the example which I will talk to today is on diabetes. And we know that people who are living with HIV are more likely to develop diabetes. Primarily, one of the reasons could be obviously use of integrase inhibitors, as well as other pre-existing conditions or other risk factors. And people who are living with HIV also require regular eye exams, given the greater risk of eye problems. And I'll also share on Health Pulse AI technology, which is a really good technology and a toolkit that my colleagues have been developing, and I've now rolled it out in more than 11 countries, and in terms of piloting in the diagnosis and support of management of communicable and infectious diseases such as HIV, what brings us together today. So what's a business case for CyberSight AI? One is, and I will get into this a little bit more, is the improvement of speed and efficiency of screening and making a decision from days to weeks and to actually minutes. And also we know that there's also high performance where you're looking at where AI versus expert human analysis. And we have data from Rwanda, Vietnam, and China, and now even data that is emerging in South Africa and Ethiopia that really shows us that there's consistently high sensitivity and specificity for use of this particular technology in a service delivery setting. There's also increased referral compliance, as evidenced by a trial that I will get into a few minutes, that showed that the use of CyberSight AI technology, we had more than 30% of people who are more likely to follow through with their referral. And then, of course, the flexibility and the lower cost, the fact that, that you have a technology that can easily be adapted and utilized in low and middle income countries, and it's very highly customizable. So what is CyberSight AI? Some of you are thinking, you know, what is Doris doing here telling us about CyberSight AI? This is a particular technology that we've already rolled out, and it is used to support clinical decisions for obviously eye health, eye health workers in low and middle income countries, and it uses to analyze what we call the posterior segment, which is at the back of the eye, and utilizing cameras, which is more a type of AI that we call computer vision. And we usually look for signs of threatening conditions, whether it's diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and macular disease, and some of this might be quite familiar to you all. And eventually what we want is to return a referral and make sure that recommendation comes in seconds. So this then has the potential to decrease the time that it takes to get a diagnosis and to make a referral, and of course with a patient-friendly report that the client is able to walk out of the facility and be able to get additional management. So why AI in blindness prevention? The screening is non-invasive. It's one image, and approximately we found 2/3 of patients who have diabetes will not need treatment for diabetic retinopathy because patients can be screened quickly and then they're sent home. They don't need necessarily to continue with any other DR management. And as well as the fact that it frees up a lot of specialist time so that they can focus on those who greatly need support and greatly need more consultation. So it does enable task shifting to other healthcare professionals, whether it is nurses, technicians, allied ophthalmic staff as well. So one case is Rwanda, and in this particular one, we worked very closely with the Rwanda Diabetes Association and who provide counseling and other services. And previously, before we started this work, patients were not receiving any eye screening, which is a critical part of routine care for diabetes. And the nurses had to receive a camera and training on how to image the patients. And in this particular case, then the nurses are called, we actually refer to them as graders. So they then grade the sort of image they're going to get out of the camera, and then they're able to say, is it mild disease or is it severe, and then does that require further management? So in our randomized control trial, we found that patients who were screened with AI were 30% more likely to follow through on their referral versus those who had received, traditional delayed grading by a specialist. In Vietnam, just as Tam was speaking, we have this particular DR screening, was also implemented with traditional grading by human specialists, and the baseline was usually days or sometimes even weeks to actually get a result, to much, it really decreased time to getting a diagnosis. And the introduction of AI-based screening cuts this time to minutes. So it allows the patient to receive the results while still, while still consulting with a healthcare professional. So our deployment model, this is freely available. We deploy it through our own projects, and it's completely developed in-house. So all work is performed by our team. So turning our attention to Health Pulse AI integration toolkit, this is developed by Odere and has been piloted in more than 11 countries, including my own home country of Kenya. And it is what we call multimodal, meaning that it uses more than one type of AI. And as you can see from this particular schematic here, that we can have through Health Pulse AI innovation, you can have informed conversations, that are empathetic in nature. There is also the fact that there is quality test results that are captured. Sometimes it's hard to see the faint line in a HIV test, and the AI sort of removes that sort of guesswork and that sort of aspect in terms of being able to make sure that you have a real quality test. And as well as, making sure that there is, personalized experiences, there's a tailored care path, and of course, client prioritization. And this is where we really are talking about clinical efficiencies, where you have chat summaries and enables that sort of client connections. So it is really a wonderful, and I think a really, great innovation in terms of being able to integrate it into our daily management of patients. So our target conditions, as an example for this particular Health Pulse AI innovation, is whether it is HIV prevention and treatment, in TB management, as well as MNCH, and as you can see from here, even in service delivery settings such as primary health care, as well as mental health. So really the list could potentially be endless, it just depends on what we are looking at. But it has really potential to change a lot and be able to manage patients and clients and people who are living with HIV in a very comprehensive manner. And then lastly, it's, I really love this particular slide because it really talks about self-care, and as you can see with just the Health Pulse AI, you can have that sort of journey, moving a client from, making sure that there's that from demand generation to having those lifestyle conversations. And of course, until where a clinician is able to review results, support outreach, as well as ensure that there is patient counseling and referral services. So a lot of what I have just discussed and shared with you all is really around, as you can see, deployment of AI in our settings, that is low and middle income settings, have really a potential to really increase that efficiency, but also to build that trust for use of AI, for testing, for referral, and of course for further management. Thank you.